Hello Gemini, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your connection between you and the person that you are dealing with and are needing to learn the most from right now. We'll be pulling for all three sides of the connection, so we'll look at your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story, so we're looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. This middle section will be looking at what is the deeper purpose of the connection and the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. On that note, and especially if you're a cross watcher, just know this whole reading can be reversed. If that is the case for you, that is totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Gemini, let's jump on in. We're going to start with overall energy through oracle cards first, and then we'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. But let's start with looking at your side of this connection for the person you are dealing with. This is for Gemini's side of this connection. I also want to mention that I have started posting mini daily general readings to my Instagram and TikTok accounts. I won't be posting those on YouTube, so if you want to see those, the information for those accounts is in the description box below. All right, what do we got here? Gemini's side of this connection, please. Redacted. There's this energy of holding back how you feel, where you stand. You have this quality time card. And then this connection card. So you feel a deep connection to this person. And I feel like you are wanting more out of this. And it feels like you're waiting for things to evolve. But it feels like you've been waiting for a while. And because I feel like you're wanting more out of this than you're currently getting. Like, even if you're in a relationship with this person, or there is, or you are engaged or you are married, like, I feel like you're desiring, more effort or more time from this person maybe, or like more, just more. Yeah, it's like you're wanting more. But I also feel like I feel like you don't want to push them away. I also feel that, well, I don't know, actually. Let's see what this person's energy toward you is, Gemini. Breakups and makeups. This person's very wishy-washy, very in and out. And again, it's like, even if there is a commitment here, I do feel like this person, it's like a yo-yo. It's like they're present and they're here and they're invested and then they're gone and then they're removed and then they're present, they're here, they're invested and they're gone. It's like, and that's what I feel like you're wanting more of, is that consistency. You're wanting more of when things are good and when this person is like invested and you feel fulfilled in this relationship. But I feel like, confusion. This person's energy is very all over the place. They're very all over the place. And not in the sense that, I don't think this is confusion about whether or not they have feelings for you. I do feel like they do. I don't actually know where this is stemming from. Maybe they don't know how you feel, but I don't know that that's true either. It's almost like they're confused by how they're acting. And what I mean by that is, like, because the bottom of this is passion. So it's obvious that there are feelings here and that this person has, like, I feel like they have and feel the same connection that you do. So why are they so in and out, right? I feel like that's the big question that you have. And it's like, but they're also confused by that behavior. I don't know. That's interesting. We'll see what comes through for that. Truth of the connection between Gemini and this person. There's the connection. And that's what I said. I feel like it's mutual. I feel like it's there. I feel like both people feel it. This could be something long distance too, or like there's just a lot of distance in this connection. It could be emotionally, like even if you live in the same house. Robotic. It's like clockwork. That's what I heard. Like clockwork. It's like they're here, they're present, they're invested, and then like clockwork, it's like they start to detach or remove themselves or create distance. Is there anything else here? No? I feel like there's one more. I feel like there's one more card that I need to see. Healing. Oh, that's so interesting. Because it feels like there are times in this where you feel really safe and really loved and good. But then there's times where it feels like you're in this position of, it's like you're constantly having to heal from something this person is doing, from their distance or their disconnection. I don't know. So and again, it's like clockwork. It's like it's like almost predictable at this point. Like their unpredictability is almost predictable because it's how they've been. And that's what, that inconsistency I feel like is what has been bothering you the most. Which is understandable. Overall theme of this for Gemini. It is worth it. Lies and partial truth. Second option and miscommunication. Woo! There's a lot to unpack here. First of all, I don't feel like there's a lot of open communication in this connection. It doesn't mean you guys don't talk, but I don't feel like there's a lot of honest vulnerability. Like there's no communication, because speaking to somebody and communicating with them, which also includes actively listening to, digesting, and responding to what somebody else is saying without defensiveness, right? Like communication is a two-way street. I feel like there's just this constant like trying to figure out how the other person is feeling and where they're at. And it's like you're constantly, I feel like really on edge about this connection, and specifically like how this person's going to act. Because again, there are times where you feel like a priority and you feel like, you know, they care and they want to invest. And then there are times where you straight up just feel like an option, like they're like a convenience, like they're investing when it's easy for them. And I think that it's so back and forth. It's like so drastic too. It's like there are times where it's one thing, one good extreme, and then times where it's like one bad extreme. And I think that you have this it is worth it card. So I feel like you feel on some level that it is worth it. I feel like you're kind of willing to go through those periods of disconnection or when things are difficult because you feel like it'll be worth it in the end. But I do feel that, again, it's kind of this constant state of stress, I feel like, that you're in. Because even when things are good, I feel like you're like, well, this is probably going to be short term because like clockwork, something's going to happen or something, there's going to be this disconnection or something. And yeah, that's complicated. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we've got here. So let's dive further in, Gemini, to your side of this. Redacted with quality time. Gemini's energy toward the person they are dealing with. There it is. Seven of Swords. That's what I said. What are you holding back here? I want clarity on the Seven of Swords. How you really feel or what you really want. Yeah, Ace of Cups in reverse. Here you are. Ten of Wands in reverse. So I said here you are as the Queen of Swords here. It's just air sign energy. It doesn't necessarily allude to gender, but I feel like, okay. Yeah, Six of Pentacles in reverse, because it feels like you're not getting what you want out of this, and like consistently, right? We talked a lot about that. Sometimes things are good, sometimes they're not, but I feel like you're pouring a lot into this connection, and it's interesting because with the Ten of Wands in reverse, it feels like you're carrying not only your own burdens, but it feels like you're carrying this person's burdens too, almost like you're trying to hold. It's like if it weren't for you, this connection would completely fall apart, because I feel like so much of the effort, maybe in spending time together and, you know, having the connection, it's like you're putting so much into this. And this Ace of Cups in reverse is kind of this indication of not, of almost like burying how you really feel. And I feel like because again, if you feel like it's worth it, you kind of just want to take what you can get, right? Because you're like, well, I want to have this person in my life, so I'm willing to accept, you know, what they're willing to show up as or show up with. But it almost feels that it's become harder and harder for you to bear it over time, which is understandable and also kind of how it works, right? I think it's easier to kind of ignore things in the beginning, but then over time, I feel like it's kind of started to really weigh on you, because it's like, you know, their problems are always more important, or their needs or their desires or their feelings or what's going on in their life. It's like there's not really space in this for you, or for you to have what it is that, like, for your feelings to be taken into consideration. Because I feel like so much of the focus has been on trying to be what they need so that they stop being inconsistent, right? So it's like, maybe if I do these things, or if I'm patient, or if I don't put too much pressure on them, then like they'll show up more, like, you know, whatever the case is. It's almost like, it's like you've tried to make yourself fit what you feel this person needs. This is so interesting, but this is all very hidden. With the Seven of Swords and the Redacted, it feels like this is not, it doesn't feel like you're being honest about what you need, or you're being honest about what you desire. And there's a lot of different reasons that that's the case. Maybe you've learned that it doesn't matter, that this person doesn't respond well, or that it pushes them away, or maybe you're afraid of pushing them away. Maybe you're afraid of ruining the connection. But I don't know. It definitely feels that there is an imbalance here for sure. I mean, especially because the Six of Pentacles in reverse is all about imbalance, right? You see that with the scale and the imagery, and you have it in reverse. Let's see what we have for them. This person's energy toward you. Going back to this confusion. This person's energy toward you. Really know what this is saying. I'm gonna be honest. There's a lot of reverse cards, though. I'll get there. Hierophant in reverse, Six of Pentacles in reverse, Death, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It's like I'm missing something. What am I missing? There's like a missing piece to this. Oh. Let me see. Let me get one. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. So, right out of the gate with the Hierophant in reverse, typically when I see the Hierophant in reverse, it means that somebody isn't viewing a situation, like, how do I put this? Like, through the lens of, like, wisdom. Usually it means that someone's being overly emotional or overly, like, looking at things maybe through the lens of an illusion, just not seeing things clearly, or not taking the time to really look at things from a different perspective. And in this specific energy, it almost feels like this person has a really difficult time stepping outside of their own perspective. So that can kind of drive this person into kind of selfish behavior. I don't feel like this person's intentions are selfish, though. And I think that that's where there's a need to understand. Like, I feel like this person feels very misunderstood almost. And it's not necessarily that they shouldn't be held accountable for their actions. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I do think that we can have empathy for other people's experiences while simultaneously holding them accountable. But I also feel that this person, I think in their life, has experienced a lot of really unhealthy things in relationships. Like, unhealthy relationships, I feel like, are really the name of the game for them. So I almost feel like they don't know how to exist in a space where they're being loved well and being chosen, and where somebody is trying to be consistent and trying to commit. It's like they're kind of used to being screwed over. So they're very on edge about that. And I think that they read into a lot of behavior because, again, there's no real communication here. But it also feels, and part of the difficult aspect of this is I feel like this person's actually very closed off to it. So even if you try to communicate, I almost feel like you're not really able to be heard. But this person struggles with commitment because they've never really been committed to either. And I do think that typically is the experience. Hurt people, people tend to treat people how they've been treated. But that, our trauma and the things that we've been through, absolutely not our fault, but it is our responsibility to recognize our wounds and to show up in our healing so that we don't put those burdens onto other people. Burdens, and I said that. It's almost like you're aware of how this person does this, or the fact that they are really closed off, or they've been through a lot, and it kind of feels like because of that awareness, you're trying to just kind of understand why they do the things that they do, like be very patient, be very understanding. I think that this person has a tendency to play it really safe when it comes to relationships. So they're probably very used to like surface level relationships. And again, going back to what I said at the very beginning with having the connection card, I feel like both of you do recognize and can feel that this is a deeper connection. And I think that the connection is very real for both people. But I also think that this person struggles a lot with, it's almost like believing that, this sounds kind of I don't know, naive or cheesy, but like believing that true love exists, or like believing that love exists or like is sustainable. Because I do feel like this person maybe grew up experiencing a lot of selfish behaviors. And it's like because of that, they kind of have this very jaded view on people almost. It's really interesting because their intentions, like I can tell from their energy, I do feel like deep down they're a kind-hearted person. I feel like the way that they act is very much from a place of self-protection. And I really see that with the Seven of Wands. Like I was really drawn, because I said I feel like there's a piece that I'm missing, and I was really drawn to this card. It's like they're constantly ready to defend, constantly ready to protect themselves, constantly ready to run, constantly ready to, whatever. And I think where that becomes a little challenging is we can have empathy for that experience, right? But that puts you in a really unfair position, because instead of there being like this open, honest communication about, hey, I have these trust issues, I've been really hurt in the past, so I struggle to believe that I'm worthy and deserving of love, instead of like having that communication and that open, honest vulnerability, this person's very reactive. So as soon as they get triggered, or as soon as an insecurity rises to the surface, they respond with, let me create distance, let me sabotage this, let me push this person away. And it's interesting because then they get very confused, because then it's almost like, well, why did I do that? Like, I do want this connect. That's why I said they were confused by their behavior. So this person's very layered. I like to think of it like almost like their energy is kind of like an onion. It's like on the surface, I feel like their behavior seems very selfish. It seems very, especially the Hierophant in reverse, like not taking into consideration the experience of others. But then you peel back a layer and it's like, well, they've been hurt a lot in the past, and they kind of expect to be treated poorly, so they're constantly defending that. Okay, peel back a layer even more. They've never really actually experienced deep connection, so they don't really know how to exist in that space. So everything they do is kind of coming from, patterns and behavior from the past, which obviously negatively impacts you. And peel back another layer and it's like, okay, deep down, they don't believe that they're worthy and deserving of love. So you show up with it, and you show up with this kindness and this compassion and this understanding, and it's almost like they don't know what to do with it. They're like, it's almost like there's a part of them that's like, I don't believe this is real, and then there's another part of them that's like, I don't really know what to do with this. So this person's got a lot of healing to do. They need to address kind of these core wounds as to why they believe these things, why they act in this way. And I think for you, there's, just because this person's dealing with a lot and they have all of these things going on, that doesn't mean that you deserve less. And I think that that's really important, because we can't bear other people's wounds for us, right? Now, we're never going to find a perfect person. There's no such thing as perfect people, but you do deserve somebody who is willing to address these things and to work on the ways that they show up, and to, get honest about why they show up the way that they do, so they can address these things at all. And that starts with communication. It starts with being willing to be vulnerable and be open. And if somebody doesn't respond well to that, that's kind of a reflection of their capacity and their current capability when it comes to love. I don't feel like this person's a bad person. However, I do feel that they've got a lot of work to do before they can appropriately show up for you in the way that you deserve. Now, all relationships are a mirror, right? If somebody isn't fully committing to us, or choosing us, or treating us like we deserve, typically it's a reflection of how we, in some way in that space, are not committing to us, choosing us, and treating us like we deserve, right? Sometimes we tend to really over prioritize the people that we care about's needs and emotions and feelings, to the extent where we really under prioritize our own. And if we do that for too long, it's almost as if there's no space for us to have our emotional needs met at all, because so much of our time, energy, emotion is going toward making sure somebody else is okay. So be cognizant of that as you move forward with this. If this connection is, currently still together, I don't know. I feel the separation here. I didn't see the separation card. I didn't see like the Two of Cups in reverse or anything like that, but I feel it. I feel like there's a distance here. Just know that it doesn't have anything to do with you. I just feel like this is kind of a proceed with caution kind of situation, and to understand that, wounded people will continue to make decisions from wounded places unless they make the conscious decision to heal. And a lot of times people don't make that decision for us. They make it for them, and they make it for whenever their life path is meant for them to make it, if that exists in this lifetime at all. So, I don't know, just a couple of things. It's like Spirit kind of has a little bit of a warning about your approach to this. Don't get so lost in the pursuit of trying to heal, fix, or save another person, because you might find yourself drowning in the process if you aren't looking out for yourself. So I'm going to hop on over to the extended. You have robotic with connection. I'm going to dive deeper into this, looking at the deeper purpose and the best way for you to move forward in alignment with your higher self. Before I end this video, I do want to reiterate that I am hosting a workshop on September 19th. at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's both a live workshop, and if you can't make it live, if you sign up, you'll also get the recording and the material for it. This workshop is all about manifesting financial freedom. I used to be a financial advisor before I stepped into my role as a spiritual coach, so I kind of have a lot of knowledge around this topic, and from a practical standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint. So this is really bringing together both aspects of that and putting it together into a workshop. I'm very passionate about this. I've put so much heart and time and soul into building this workshop for you guys, so I'm really excited for it. So I obviously hope to see you guys there. Any information for that is at the top of the description box below. And then again, if you wish to see those daily general readings, feel free to follow me on Instagram or TikTok. Both of those accounts are in the description box below as well. Thank you so much, as always, Gemini, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Gemini.